You are listening to Disney Travel Tales, episode number 9. This is a space where you can escape the real world and immerse yourself in someone's recent Disney trip. I'm Jenny, and today you are listening to my interview with Shelly and her daughter Sky. They are talking about their June mother-daughter Disney vacation to celebrate Sky's high school graduation. Shelly is an agent at Trolley Lane Travel, and she specializes in Disney vacations. See the show notes on how to get in contact with her if you are ready to plan your magical vacation. Did you know there is a way to make planning your Disney vacation easier and less stressful? So many people feel overwhelmed planning their vacation and have no idea that there are trained professionals out there to help. Our sponsor, Trolley Lane Travel, they are experts when it comes to Disney vacations. They are always up to date on specials Disney runs and have tips and tricks to help you navigate the parks easier. And guess what? This is all complimentary to you when you plan your trip with them. Saving you time and money is what they are best at. Visit them at trolleylanetravel.com and go to their Request a Quote page to get connected with an agent and start planning your magical vacation today. They are also on Facebook and Instagram at Trolley Lane Travel LLC. Tell them Disney Travel Tales sent you. Okay, so let's begin our adventure with Shelly and Sky. Imagine yourself walking down Main Street at Magic Kingdom with a Starbucks early in the morning, and let's go. Hi, Shelly and Sky. Thank you so much for coming on the show today.
Hi, Jenny. Thanks for having us.
I can't wait to hear about your trip.
Well, thank you. We had the best time, so we're excited to be able to share all about our trip.
That's awesome. Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and your experience with Disney vacations?
So I am a travel agent with Trolley Lane Travel. I visited Disney starting when I was 6 years old. So then we had kind of a break when we had like small kids and all of that. We started going again about 4 years ago, and we have, I think, been 10 times in the last 4 years. So once I rediscovered my love of the parks, I was all in.
So this trip was just a mother-daughter trip, correct?
It was actually Sky's senior trip. She graduated the week before we went.
That's so fun. After hearing about y'all's trip and then Becky and her daughter's trip, I want to go on a mother-daughter trip with my daughter.
It is the most fun. And then, that way you get to focus on, if you just have one of your kids with you, you get to focus on the things that they like the most. So those trips are, I think they're just really special. We've done several just of our trips have been just mother-daughter trips.
That's so sweet. I love that. Okay, so what days did y'all travel?
We left on Thursday, June 3rd, and came back on Thursday, June 10th.
Awesome. And how did y'all get to Orlando?
We flew on Southwest. We do live in a more rural area, so the best option for flights for us is flying out of Pittsburgh, which is about a 3-hour drive. So we actually end up driving longer than we fly.
Oh, wow. I didn't realize that.
So our flight was at 12:25, so we left just a little bit after 7. So that we could leave ourselves plenty of time in case there was road construction or any of that. But we actually lucked out and had a smooth trip and got there in just right about 3 hours.
That's nice that y'all are on the East Coast so you don't have to deal with the time change. That is one plus.
Yeah.
And what kind of ticket did y'all have?
We actually are annual pass holders.
Oh, okay. That's awesome. Lucky y'all.
Yeah, we hang on to this because right now they're not selling them. So we weren't sure if we were going to renew for this year, just, because we weren't sure how much we'd be able to travel with Sky starting college.
Mm-hmm.
But with them not selling new ones, we decided to go ahead and renew.
That's very smart. Okay, so what transportation did y'all use from the airport?
We did take Disney's Magical Express. It was super smooth. I know that people have seen, pictures on social media and some horror stories. That was not at all our experience. Our flight was slightly delayed. We had to hold in the air a little bit because of some storms that were off to the west. So they were holding us and letting some other flights in and out before us. So we landed about 3 o'clock, and we were at our resort in our room at 4:30. Like, we grabbed our luggage, and there was no wait whatsoever to get on the bus. We checked in and walked directly to the front of the line, and they sent us right out the door to the bus.
That's so nice. Were they social distancing on the bus, or was there still limited capacity on the buses?
They were still skipping rows on our bus. I
Okay.
know I've seen some different things, but they were still skipping rows and telling you which row to sit in.
Okay, that's good to know. Okay, and what resort did y'all stay at?
We stayed at Coronado Springs in the tower. So we were in Grand Destino Tower.
Okay. Why did y'all choose this resort?
We actually stayed there for a quick trip back in February and just fell in love with it. My gosh, it's gorgeous. Grand Destino it's definitely more like a deluxe resort as far as the decor and the atmosphere and the amenities, but more at a moderate resort price. I think it's really the best kind of bang for your buck at Disney right now. The whole resort is just great. It's just very relaxed and laid back. So we loved it so much for our short trip in February that we decided to stay again.
I've heard the restaurants there are really good as well.
Yeah, the ones that we had were super good, especially they have the sort of lounge type thing that's out on the water, Three Bridges. It was great. We really, really enjoyed it the night we ate there.
That's really nice. This I've went and looked at pictures of the resort, and it is so beautiful. I feel like, I mean, I know it's really big and a lot of people probably do stay there, but I also think sometimes it's probably overlooked because it's not on the Skyliner, or it's, just a moderate, and sometimes people want to go after that fancier one, but sometimes that's not necessary.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Like, I know a lot of people really like the regular rooms as well, and we have only done the tower rooms, but the location is great. You don't even really realize how big the resort is until you're on a bus to or from the parks, and they circle around to the other bus stops. Other than that, when you're in the tower, you really don't feel like it's quite as big as it is because you're so close to everything.
So is the towers, do they have their own like front desk to check in, or do you go to the main building?
Actually, the front desk in the tower is the main check-in desk
Oh,
now,
okay.
so the whole resort checks in there.
Oh, okay. That's good to know.
And then there's sort of a nice little long, long sort of hallway that connects you over to what used to be the main part before the tower, and that's where the gift shop and most of the dining and everything is. And it's not a bad walk at all. You get off the elevator, and it's just a short walk over to everything.
Okay. Yes, I didn't realize that, but that's really neat. And the towers are fairly new, right?
Yeah, they have just been open. I think it was 2018 or 19 when the tower opened. So it really is still pretty new.
That's great. Yeah, and I mean, think about all the months that no one even stayed there when the
Yeah,
everything was closed down. So yeah, they probably are really like brand new.
it definitely still has that new feeling. We stayed at Riviera last summer, and it opened just a couple of months before everything closed because of COVID.
Mm-hmm.
So it definitely has a very similar atmosphere, like a very similar feel to Grandestino and Riviera, but definitely the price point at Coronado is definitely a little better if you're trying to stay on a budget.
Yes, absolutely. Okay, so after y'all went to y'all's room and got checked in, what did y'all do?
Well, we actually, when we walked up for Magical Express, they have their bell services at that resort is amazing. They came out and grabbed our luggage, and then brought it up to the room with our grocery order. We had some grocery order through Instacart from Publix just to have some drinks and snacks in the room. So they brought that stuff up within probably 5 minutes of us getting to our room. Our room was ready when we got there. So we skipped the front desk. We just went straight to our room.
Oh, that's so nice.
So we put away our groceries, called home to check in with my husband and son, and then called my mom. Everybody had to know, we made it okay.
Yes.
And then we left and hopped on a bus to Epcot.
How fun. What did y'all do when y'all got to Epcot?
Well, when we got a good surprise when we were walking in, Pluto was out in front of Spaceship Earth greeting people. So we got to visit with Pluto, and Sky got to take some pictures with him, some Pluto selfies.
That's so cute. So, being that you've been to Disney a lot, how do you feel about the new character experiences?
Sky actually hopes to someday be friends with a character. So that's her favorite part about Disney is the character. So I'll let her tell you what she thinks.
Okay, sounds great.
I absolutely love their cavalcades. I think that it's like a super good opportunity to see the characters without like while you're social distancing. But also I love that they're doing more of the ones where they're just sort of standing in a place and you can like actually take pictures with them and interact with them. I think that that's like super nice.
Yeah, it's nice that you don't have to stand in line for like an hour and then you get a second with them. It feels like you can spend some more time with them when they're just standing out there.
I think we missed hugs. So we're hoping for the time when things are more back to normal and there can be some character hugs too though.
That is true. Yes. It's not a perfect system, but I think that's working pretty well.
It's great. Like yeah, I think they've done just the best job adapting to everything. Disney's done a really good job with everything.
I agree. That's great. Okay, so what y'all do after y'all saw Pluto?
Well, just we walked on in. We actually stopped in guest relations. Just tell you all the boring parts. We had renewed our annual passes online, so we didn't have updated annual pass cards to use for like shopping and dining discounts. So we popped in guest relations to have them give us new annual pass cards. And then we had the sweetest cast member. She made Sky I'm celebrating graduation button while we were in there.
That's cute.
And then when she found out that Sky hopes to do the Disney College program in a year or two, she was very, very, very sweet and took her time and gave Sky all kinds of tips and advice about things that she wished that she would have known when she was actually former Disney College program as well.
Well, that's really cool.
Yeah, she was very, very sweet. Most of them, when they find out that you hope to work there or to do the Disney College program, they're always really supportive and really sweet about giving advice.
That's really neat. That's good to know too for anyone out there that might be young enough to have that opportunity again.
That was a really, really quick visit. There wasn't much of a line at all there. So after that, we were headed to Mouse Gear. Sky had actually forgotten her face masks. That was the one thing, you always, or at least we do, always forget one thing on a trip, and that was it. She forgot her bag with face masks in it. And, she had disposable ones, but she likes to match them to her outfit.
Mm-hmm.
So we were headed to Mouse Gear to buy some face masks because the week that we were there, you did still have to wear your masks indoors. So we were doing that. We got distracted by a sign at one of the Joffrey's locations right outside of Mouse Gear. They had a sign for it was berry lemonade slush, and you could get it with vodka or without. So we got distracted and decided to stop and have a little slush before we went into Mouse Gear.
That sounds so good. Was it good?
It was delicious. I had mine with vodka, and Sky obviously had hers without, and they were both really good.
That sounds so good right now. So Mouse Gear is the store that they're going to be changing, isn't that right?
It is. It's the one that it's a temporary location right now, and they're getting ready to open a totally new, like, sort of their flagship big gift shop.
So did she find a good mask that she could wear while y'all were there?
You did, right? You found that cute new Mickey one that's like the new shape.
Yeah, and it has like the bridge part in the nose that the old ones didn't have. So it's super nice.
Yeah, we just caught kind of the tail end of still needing a mask anytime you were indoors.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so what was next?
Well, we shopped. Mouse Gear is one of our favorite places to shop. So, what did we? I know I got new ears. I don't know how many ears I have. If I counted, then my husband would know how many ears I have. So we just don't talk about it. So we bought ears. I don't know if we bought any. I don't think we bought anything else. We were more just kind of checking out what was new.
Mm-hmm.
Once we did that, we did have a reservation at the plaza at Magic Kingdom. So we did just go ahead and, since we were just still there by the front of the park, we went back out and got on a bus and park hopped to Magic Kingdom.
Oh, okay.
So it was just kind of a quick Epcot. So yeah, and the park hopping was very smooth. When we got out to the bus stop for Magic Kingdom, there were actually 2 buses there. So we just hopped right on a bus and we're on our way. There was no wait at all.
That's really nice. Y'all got lucky with that.
Yes, yeah, it was definitely very lucky. And then we got to Magic Kingdom. We had the perfect welcome. Mickey and Minnie and all of their friends from the cavalcade were actually up on the train station when we walked in.
Oh, that's nice.
So we had a personal welcome from Mickey.
I just love walking into Magic Kingdom. I feel like every time it's like special, especially if you see Mickey there. That's really cool.
Yeah, it was. It was perfect timing that we walked in and they just so happened to be there. We actually had gotten there a little before our dining reservation to take some, have a photo pass photographer take some pictures of Sky for graduation. She had on her graduation ears, and then we gotten a cute shirt on Etsy that had the castle, and it said from the tassel to the castle.
Oh, that's really cute.
So we grabbed a couple of photo pass pictures, and it was time to check in for our dinner.
And how was your dinner? What did y'all get to eat?
Well, I would say, everywhere has a little bit modified, smaller menus right now, just as they work to get, back to normal from COVID. So the menu is very small. the plaza is definitely a classic, and in the past it has been a favorite of ours, especially if you can get a table at the window because you have a nice castle view for dinner. I what did we got? So what did we got? The loaded fries, right, with the
Yeah.
cheese and bacon for an appetizer, and then I got meatloaf, which came with mashed potatoes and green beans.
And I had a chicken sandwich.
And all the food was really good?
Well, in the interest of I normally just kind of tell it like it is, and I will tell you it was a little disappointing. And, we had had a long travel day, so some of it might have just been on our end. The loaded fries were amazing. They were so good. Our main dishes were, yeah, they weren't super great. I'm not sure that we'll go back until they do a little menu change up and maybe add a few favorites back in as things get more normal. But we will definitely give it another chance.
Yeah, that's kind of disappointing. It's never fun when you have like high expectations for something and then it doesn't work out.
Some of the things that we've really liked in the past weren't available anymore.
Right. Did y'all get a table by the window?
We did. We
That's
We had
good.
A perfect view of the castle.
That's nice.
So we had a perfect view of the castle. We had the cast member that was our waiter was great. And like the appetizer was great. It was just it's one of those I would maybe recommend giving them a little bit of time to get back to normal, maybe before giving them a try if you haven't ever been there before.
That's good advice.
So, but we will definitely, once I know they update their menu pretty frequently, so once they update again, we'll definitely give them another shot. With Disney, I have learned not to like rush to judgment, and we have had restaurants that we've done and just been pretty disappointed, and then tried them again like maybe a year or two later, and they have turned into favorites. So I definitely recommend give them another shot if there's one that maybe you don't love the first time.
Yeah. That I agree to that for sure. So what y'all do after dinner?
Well, we were tired. We'd had a long day, so we actually waited in line to take some more pictures. It had gotten dark, so we waited in line for Sky to take some more graduation pictures with the castle lit up. And then we headed out. We were tired and knew that we had an early morning the next morning, so we headed out to go back to the resort and get everything unpacked and put away and get some rest.
I love the idea of doing those pictures. I bet they turned out so cute, especially at night. That's so neat.
Yeah, they were all really good, but the ones at night ended up being my favorites.
Oh yeah, I could totally see that. That's great. Okay, so what did y'all do your next day?
We, the next morning, we got up and we got a little bit later start than what we had planned, but that's like one of the good things about just a mother-daughter trip. You don't have too much of a set schedule, so Sky likes she likes to Disney bound, so we got up and she was Disney bunding Tinkerbell that day. So we got up and she has a lot of hair and we had to get it all up in a bun on the very top of her head. So, so she looked like Tink. So we did that and headed back to Magic Kingdom for the day.
That's really cool. Sky, when did you start Disney bounding?
I want to say probably about like the second time that we went. I just think it's really fun to like plan outfits and put together all this stuff.
Yeah, I think I love when I see people dressed like that. I think it's really cool, but it is a lot of work, I bet, trying to put it all together, but probably fun as well.
We have fun. That's something, we like to do when we're not at Disney is plan outfits. So, um, Poshmark is your friend, when you're
Oh,
getting these things
yeah.
that you might not wear a super lot. So
Uh-huh.
she actually had a cute little green sundress that looked very much like Tinkerbell that, um, it was an Abercrombie dress. We got it on Poshmark, I think, for about $10.
Oh,
So
wow.
it
That's
was
awesome.
definitely affordable. And then she had snagged some of the light up wings that you see at the little carts with the bubble ones and everything in the
Uh-huh.
parks.
That's really cute. I bet that's so fun.
It
Okay.
was, and when we got there, we actually had another really good greeting. I'll let Sky tell you who was on the train station to greet her when we got there.
Peter was upset, Peter Pan, and he was so sweet. Actually, we were standing there like waiting for Peter to like notice me, and Gaston got him and like pointed at me, and it
Oh
was
my
super
gosh.
sweet, super fun.
Yeah, she and Peter had like a really long chat. He posed for pictures with her, and just yeah, he spent a good bit of time with her.
That's so fun. That's really cool. So what y'all do after that?
Well, we didn't have a super long time until we had an early lunch reservation over in Adventureland at Skipper Canteen. So we grabbed a bench and were kind of hanging out, hoping for Tinkerbell's cavalcade to go by. Um, so we just kind of hung out there for a few minutes, and it was time to head to lunch.
So how was lunch? I'm so anxious to hear about this because Skipper Canteen is one of the restaurants I had thought about eating at, but I was a little bit nervous because the food is a little bit different. I wasn't sure how my kids would like it. So I'm really anxious to hear how y'all liked it.
Well, I will say it was our first visit there. We had always been hesitant because of that same reason, because of the menu. We loved it. It was what, Sky? It was probably your favorite meal that we had, right?
Yeah, definitely. It was delicious.
And it was so much fun. The servers are like skippers from Jungle Cruise, so they just have all kinds of jokes, and they're so much fun. It was so pretty in there. Um, we really really liked it. We already made a reservation for our next trip.
Oh, wow.
So,
That's so good to know. Do y'all remember what you got to eat?
well, they had a special appetizer that day, which was a Brazilian cheese bread,
Oh,
which
yum.
was great. And then I got the taste like chicken because it is, which was a fried chicken with sort of a sweet and spicy chili drizzle. And then it came with rice and stir fried veggies. It was really, really good. Okay, wait. You got Thai noodles, right? Like the Perkins Thai noodles.
Thai noodles. Yeah, those were so good. Like they were like these sort of like thin, spicy noodles, and
You,
I got I got chicken on them, and they were
you could
delicious.
you
Like
could get what,
as
chicken or tofu, right? And you got chicken.
yeah, I think they come with tofu, and you can substitute chicken.
And I wish that we would have had been able to have dessert, but they were big portions, so neither one of us were able to have dessert. We did have fun drinks too. Mine was kind of like a mango, like just juice blend, and then Sky, you got yours had like the popping pearls, like the little green apple popping pearls, and you really liked the drink, right?
Yes, I love anything with those popping pearls in them.
What were the popping pearls like? Were they like pop rocks or?
Kind of like, I know sometimes
Oh,
people call it what, boba, but it isn't like tapioca.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It's like the little, just sort of little, I describe it as kind of like a thin Jello, and then it sort of just melts in your mouth, and there's like a little bit of like juice or Kool-Aid in them.
Yeah.
Oh, gotcha. Oh, yeah, that sounds really good. Well, that sounds like a great lunch.
It was great, and it was just, yeah, definitely. We have always been hesitant to, and now I'm so sad that we waited so long to go because we loved it so much.
Okay.
Yeah, it was great. Like our skipper was so funny. It was the whole thing was great.
Yeah, I heard they're supposed to they tell jokes and stuff like that, or kind of interact with you a little bit more.
Yeah, if you've done Jungle Cruise, the backstory of the restaurant is that when the skippers aren't taking cruises through the jungle, that they run the restaurant. So
okay.
They're just kind of like do jokes, just kind of like the skippers on Jungle Cruise.
Yeah, that's fun. I bet kids would like that too.
Yeah, and they definitely are great, I think, at playing to the table. There was, someone next to us that did have a smaller little boy with them, and he definitely was more like child directed there, like more like he definitely was paying a lot of attention to the little boy.
Yeah.
And then with us, of course, it was more of like adult humor, but not anything inappropriate whatsoever.
Right. Okay, so what y'all do after lunch?
So we went to Jungle Cruise, right? That we decided since we had done Skipper Canteen that we were going to just have a theme for the day.
Was there a long wait for that?
That one I actually made a note of because I wanted to remember. It was posted at 55 minutes. We go often enough that usually I can kind of look at a line and judge maybe whether the wait time that's posted is going to be close to right. And I didn't think it looked like a 55-minute wait, so we went ahead and hopped in line. I think it was 17 minutes.
Oh,
and
wow.
we were stepping on our boat.
Wow.
So the wait time was a little off.
Yeah.
But then, after that, we went to Pirates of the Caribbean, and the wait time was exactly right. So sometimes they're a little off, and sometimes they are 100% accurate.
So how long was the wait for Pirates?
It was posted, Sky, at 35 minutes, and it was about 40 by the time we got on.
Mm-hmm. That one always seems to move slow too sometimes.
Yeah, it does. It seemed like it was moving slow, and that was the first time I think I realized that Disney had not removed any physical distancing guidelines at that point, but the guests had removed physical distancing guidelines. So it was 40 minutes, very close to some new friends.
Oh my goodness. So once you got up to the ride, were they boarding the boats with any distance, or were they boarding them full?
They were still skipping rows when we were there. Yes, but we always loved that ride, and if we're over in Adventureland, it's hard to pass up doing it. So most of the waiting was inside, so it was a hot day, so it wasn't super as far as like the temperature or anything, the wait wasn't too bad.
That's nice. Okay, so what y'all do after Pirates?
See, we were still on a quest to see Tinkerbell since we had our own Tinkerbell.
Yes, y'all haven't seen her yet.
So we kind of just slowly circled around through Liberty Square and just kind of were hoping that she would come through, and we headed over to Main Street. We were actually, the Princess Cavalcade came through while we were on Main Street, right?
Yes, it was the ladies.
So while we were waiting there, the sweetest cast member came up and asked Sky if Tinkerbell had seen her. And we told him that we had been missing, we kept, that our timing was off and we kept missing her. So he made a little phone call and, they are mostly random. So he wasn't able to give us an exact time, but he did tell us if we wanted to maybe hang around in that area for about 20 minutes that Tinkerbell might make a little appearance.
Oh, that's some nice information.
So we popped into Main Street Bakery for Starbucks, and we were waiting for Tinkerbell, and one of those infamous Florida afternoon storms hit right at about 20 minutes from when he told us that she should be coming through. So,
oh, no.
So, and it wasn't a quick one. We tried to wait it out. We waited probably for more than an hour in the pouring rain, and we finally had to give up and call it a day, or call it a day at Magic Kingdom. So it was a little disappointing that she didn't get to see Tinkerbell, but it's definitely just an excuse to do the outfit again. So
absolutely.
She'll get to see her next time.
Yeah, you got all this stuff, so you're ready to go.
Yeah, all we have to do is see if we can get her hair up on top of her head again, and she'll be good to go. And I'm sure we'll have better cavalcade luck next time.
Yes, and at least you got to see Peter Pan. That's really cool.
So yeah, that's what she said. She said that her interaction with Peter definitely made it okay.
Yeah.
I was gonna say we were sitting under the umbrellas on the little tables at the end there by the plaza with our Starbucks. It rained, and we sat there, and the umbrella was doing a good job keeping us dry, and then it started raining harder and the wind blew, so we put on ponchos. we tried to tough it out, but like I said, we ended up just heading back to the buses after we realized that it wasn't going to be a short rain.
Were a lot of people leaving the park at this point?
Yes. And actually, I think we missed the worst of that, because as soon as it started pouring the rain and thunder and lightning, we just sat there at our table and just watched people pour out. I definitely think if you can tough it out through one of those afternoon storms, you have a really good experience afterwards as far as wait times for rides.
I bet.
Yeah, we had been planning to head back to the resort not too long after that anyway, probably after we saw Tinkerbell. We were going to head back, and Sky was going to do an outfit change, and we were going to head to Hollywood Studios for the evening. But the rain lasted long enough that we ended up switching our plans, which that's always like my number one advice for anybody for their Disney trip, is to be flexible. It's Florida, weather happens, or, crowds happen. So we ended up we were able to get a walk-up reservation for Rick's Sports Bar, and we had eaten there before and enjoyed it. So we did that. We went down and had I had a burger. So I don't remember. Did you have fish and chips at Rick's?
Yes, I did.
So it was good. It was good, just kind of definitely sports bar and grill food, but it was done really well. So we did that, and then we checked out the gift shop.
Do they have a pretty good gift shop over there at Coronado Springs?
They do. They have it's a pretty decent sized gift shop, and they have, the regular things the snacks and drinks and ears and all that, and then a good bit of resort specific things. And then they have some of they have some Dooney and Burke bags and some of the Pandora charms. So they have a good selection.
Oh yeah, that's nice. I love walking through all those stores. I just think it's so fun. Even if some of the stuff is the same, I could just keep walking through and my husband would be like, this all looks the same. And I'm like, but some of it's different.
Sometimes I need to see it like 3 or 4 times before I decide I need it.
Yes, I'm the same way.
They have it's a good gift shop. So it wasn't the evening that we planned, but I would say we still had a nice evening. We had a nice dinner and had a little shopping and then called it sort of an early night.
So what time about do you think y'all left Magic Kingdom that day?
I want to say it was probably about maybe 4 o'clock. Yeah, we were planning to leave Magic Kingdom a little earlier anyway and hop over to Studios for a couple of hours.
Mm-hmm.
So we didn't necessarily leave Magic Kingdom a lot earlier than we would have anyway. We just kind of changed our plans for the rest of the evening.
Yeah. Okay, so what y'all do the next day?
So the next day was Saturday, and we did something that was new to us that I'm a huge, huge fan of now. We actually went to the character breakfast at the Four Seasons.
Oh, I didn't even realize they did a character breakfast.
A lot of people don't realize that they do that. They only do it on Saturday mornings right now. It's the Good Morning Breakfast with Goofy and his pals. And it's actually the only non-Disney property where you can meet characters. So it was great. We have a driver that we use for our personal trips sometimes. He runs a Facebook group and he's awesome. We use him as much as possible. It's just kind of like, Uber or Lyft, but you just private message him to book him. He picked us up and took us to the Four Seasons. It is over in Golden Oak, which is, Disney's fancy housing area.
Mm-hmm.
So it was really just about 5 minutes from Coronado Springs. It was a really short trip. It's just right outside of all of the resorts, of all of the Disney resorts. So we hopped over there and it was great. It was, we got to see the Four Seasons, which is it's breathtaking.
I bet.
And then the restaurant was fun, and the characters are kind of in their country club finest.
Oh, that's cute.
Cute little country club outfits. Minnie sort of has on a little tennis dress, and instead of a bow, she has sunglasses on her head instead of a bow like she would normally have. Mickey's all dressed for golf. And
that's funny.
Goofy has on kind of like a Hawaiian shirt and the cutest high top Converses. So it's just the three of them, and it was great.
That's
really
so
it was
neat.
One of your favorites, like character and food wise, right? Because the characters came by so many times.
I think it's a lot easier for them to come around to multiple tables when it isn't a super big restaurant. Definitely. So that was nice.
It was a prefix menu. So it's, one set price no matter what you order.
Mm-hmm.
Our server was great, though. She did invite us to order more than one entree if we wanted, to get a couple each, or, get one each and then get a couple of things for the table to share.
Okay, so that's neat. So you could just order multiple things because it was just a set price.
Yeah. So yeah, she did, tell us that if we wanted to get a few things to go ahead and order. So we did. I got pancakes, and Sky, you got smoked salmon with a bagel. Is that right?
Yeah.
And then we got the acai bowl. I hope I said that right.
I think so, yes.
It was delicious. That was probably my favorite thing of anything that we had. It was really, really good. And they do a really nice fruit plate and then a basket of pastries before they bring your entrees.
That's really cool. I'm just still so surprised. I had no idea they did a character breakfast here.
It was our first time, and definitely, when we can work it into the schedule with it only happening once a week, we will definitely we'll definitely do it again. To book that, you do have to call the Four Seasons directly, or if you are working with a travel agent, I'm sure that your agent will be happy to get it booked for you. It isn't one that can be booked through Disney. So, but yeah, it was great. And then while we were waiting on our driver to come back and pick us up, we wandered around and took a lot of pictures because it's so pretty there. It was beautiful, and they had a couple of really nice gift shops. Again, we're like big on the gift shops, so
Yes.
we did wander around the gift shop, and they did have a lot of Disney merchandise in their gift shop as well. You know, they are kind of like a good neighbor hotel, so they do have some. You can purchase Disney tickets there, or they do have Disney merchandise in their gift shops. And I should have also mentioned that there was a Disney cast member there with in the restaurant with the characters.
Okay. Yeah, I was wondering if the characters were from Disney or if they were.
They are, and there was a Disney cast member there managing everything that was going on with the characters.
Mm-hmm.
So, and it was I don't know if I said the name of the restaurant. It was Ravello, which is it's Italian in the evenings, and most mornings it's just a regular breakfast, and then on Saturdays it's the character breakfast.
So I do have a question about your driver.
Okay.
Because this is interesting to me. It sounds like a good option as opposed to having to rely on Uber or Lyft, which can be very unreliable. So did you have to schedule with him ahead of time, like to come pick y'all up this morning?
Yes. Okay. He's made some changes because of COVID. Right now, he only schedules 48 hours in advance. In the past, he has, you've been able to schedule several weeks or months in advance with him. I'm not sure how long he'll keep the 48 hours, but he is great. His name is Bill Murphy, and he actually runs a pretty big Facebook group called Disney Vacation to Florida and Beyond. And you can, he just books through just Facebook Messenger. So you can, shoot him a message and, check his availability. We've used Bill for years. He is always absolutely 100% prompt. We did not schedule a ride back with him because I didn't know how long our breakfast would take. Mm-hmm. And he was actually headed to the airport to pick up someone. So he was like, sometimes his wife will take sort of overflow trips. He was like, text Nancy and she'll come get you when you're ready. So we text her, and she was, right there in a few minutes to get us. We really, really like them. They are very, very reliable and always prompt.
Yes, that is such great information and such a nice option when you need to go somewhere and you can't take a bus or you don't have a car.
Yeah, and I know we use Lyft when we're there instead of Uber, just because Lyft is the app that I have on my phone from when Disney was doing the minivan service. You scheduled that through Lyft, so we didn't have any problems. But I know I've seen online that people are really sometimes having a hard time getting a driver right now. So it is nice to have one scheduled whenever possible. It is good to just be prepared.
Yes.
So, and I just kind of try to tell myself, we love Disney. All these people love Disney too.
Yeah, right.
So, and with some we always, just chat with people and try to make friends, and we always have a good time even if it's crowded.
Yes, that's so nice. Just might as well make the best of it.
Yes. After we had breakfast, we headed back to the resort to have an afternoon in the pool.
They have a beautiful pool.
They do. It was absolutely beautiful. I will just, give a heads up. I always try to be transparent. The pool there right now is booking. I don't know if you would say booking, it's filling up. So we got all ready for the pool and got out there and got to the gate, and the cast member was there taking your phone number so they could text you when you could come in, because there weren't any available seats.
Are they just doing it at capacity because of COVID, do you think, or is this like a normal way they run it?
I've never heard of it until COVID. Like, I've never heard anyone say that they got turned away from a pool. So I do think, because when we were there, and maybe it's changed because I know things are changing and updating so quickly. Some of the seats weren't there. Like, they had tried to, sort of distance the seats and just have them in smaller groups.
Okay.
So, and, once there weren't any available seats, they weren't letting anyone else come in until someone left.
Okay.
There are, other pools at the resort that, don't have the slide or anything. Kind of, we like to call them quiet pools. So we were headed to the closest quiet pool to wait on a text, and the cast member actually called us back. A couple of groups had left, so we actually did get to go right in.
Oh, that's nice.
We were, already on the wait list. We just happened to luck out.
That's really nice. So y'all ended up not having to really wait.
Yes. Yeah, we did get lucky, but it's usually just the feature pool that is booking like that right now, or filling up like that right now. So there, are usually other pool options that you can hang out for a little bit until you get your text that you can come in and have a seat.
So y'all spent the afternoon at the pool. That sounds so nice. And then what'd y'all do after that?
So after we got all cleaned up from the pool, we headed to Epcot to hang out in the World Showcase and try some flower and garden snacks and do some shopping.
Did y'all try anything in particular that y'all loved?
So we decided we were going to do something totally new for us and maybe a little out of my comfort zone, not so much Sky. We decided we were going to do the garden graze, which is part of Flower and Garden, and it is where you try the plant-based foods. And then at the end of it, once you try everything on the list, you got a special lime Dole Whip and a cute little souvenir cup. So that evening, we did one item from the garden graze, which was the plant-based. It was like a plant-based rib, which, something plant-based is never going to be really like eating ribs, but It was more kind of meatloaf-like, but it was delicious. I would eat it every time we go to Epcot if they had it. So it was like a barbecue glazed plant-based rib with some rice and then some sort of like kimchi, like some pickled vegetables. It was really, really good.
So for the garden graze, do you buy like a card and then you mark it off, or you get it stamped?
So it's just the little garden graze sort of passport booklet that they have all around the park. Okay. You don't have to pay for it or anything. And then the garden graze was the last page, and you can just let the cast member know when you're ordering the items, and they stamp for you to show that you have ordered. You had each item, and then when you're once you've had all the items, you go to the redemption location for the Dole Whip and just show them your passport. That's
really fun. That's neat.
So that evening we did just do that one. So we had a big breakfast at the Four Seasons, and then we had grabbed quick service lunch at Coronado Springs. So we weren't super hungry. So once we shared one of the rib snacks, we kind of decided we were going to save the rest of our garden graze for another night. So, and then what, Sky, you got your favorite thing after that to enjoy while we waited in line for Frozen Ever After, your bubble tea from China.
Yes, that is literally, it's so good. Like, it sounds weird, but it's so good.
What flavor
the
is
Joy
it?
of Tea in China, right? Is that what it is, Sky? Is that the Joy of Tea is the little kiosk?
Yeah. I think it's peach, if I'm remembering
Yeah.
right. I think it's peach tea, yeah.
A peach milk tea with
Okay.
tapioca pearls in the bottom of it. So yeah, we grabbed those and decided to hop in line for Frozen Ever After, which is our favorite at Epcot.
So you said, so were they not being strict about eating or drinking in the lines at this point?
Well, the line, because of distancing, went all the way kind of through the little area between Norway and China.
Mm-hmm.
So as long as you were outside in what isn't really the actual queue, it was fine
Okay.
to eat or drink. But once you got up, where you were going to go indoors, I think they probably might have asked you to throw it away.
And how long was the wait for this ride?
I think that it was posted at 40 minutes and it was right about 40 minutes.
Okay.
So that one was pretty accurate.
Mm-hmm. And y'all said that was your favorite ride at Epcot?
It is. Well, we always like to do the gift shop at the end of that ride. We love that gift shop. So we shopped for a good little bit. I always like to buy my perfume in there, so I bought a bottle of perfume. So yeah, we've actually met I don't know what you call the person who does perfume. Is he a designer? I don't know whatever he is. His name is, I think, Gear, and we actually met him a few years ago. He was super nice. I have, for the last 3 or 4 years, worn his Frozen in a bottle. So it smells super good. They recently discontinued it. It was, I think, just supposed to be there for the opening of the ride, of the Frozen Ever After ride.
Mm-hmm.
They kept it around a little longer because it was so popular, but they did discontinue it. I do have one bottle that I'm hoarding.
Oh yeah, that's smart.
He does have another scent. It's called Lila, and it smells very similar. And I got a bottle of it, and I actually really, really love it as well.
Oh man, I bet this smells so good.
It does. It smells super, super good. Yeah, it's kind of at the end of that gift, like sort of, there's sort of several sections to the gift shop. It's at the end. But yeah, they're always really friendly over there. They'll always, a lot of times they'll have samples, or they'll have somebody there with like a tester or some lotion that you can try out so that you can smell and see what you think before you buy it.
That's really neat. So what'd y'all do after that?
Did we do anything? It was thundering, right? So we kind of we wandered the rest of the way around World Showcase. We stopped so I could embarrass Sky by dancing to some 80s music over at the America Gardens Theater. They had a really good local Orlando band playing like 80s cover.
Oh, that's fun.
So we stopped and Sky was like, "Mom, you haven't even had a drink. What?" So yeah, we stopped just for a minute and watched them, and then it was sort of ominously thundering. So we sort of quickly made our way around, and we did stop. We went out the International Gateway entrance We did stop at World Traveler, which is another one of our favorite Epcot gift shops. They're right at the back entrance and exit. So we stopped in there and just kind of looked around and shopped a little and headed on out and hopped on a friendship boat over to the boardwalk and then got a lift back to Coronado Springs instead of walking all the way back to the front of Epcot to catch a bus.
Oh, that's smart strategy.
Yeah, that is one of my favorite things to do at Epcot. I really, really, really like that back entrance. We do sometimes stay like at Boardwalk. So once we did that and realized that exit is very convenient, we sometimes it's a maybe a 5-minute boat ride over to Boardwalk. You could also walk in maybe 10 minutes. It's a short walk as well. And then, you can just kind of hop up to their lobby and get a lift.
Yeah, and I like that entrance better than the front entrance. I don't know. I don't know if it's because it's like you walk straight into the World Showcase or something, but it's just so like cheery. I don't know. I like it better anyways.
And I know it's not super long from the front entrance to the buses, but I always feel like it is. Like, I guess because it's just kind of not interesting. I'm always like, this walk takes forever. And it always seems like, your buses, no matter what resort, your bus is like the last stop. So whenever we can, especially when we're leaving, we do hop over and use Lyft. If you didn't want to use Lyft, you could also just hop on the bus from Boardwalk or Yacht and Beach to a park and just transfer buses if you didn't want to use a Lyft.
Yes.
Just hop over to Disney Springs or a park and then just switch buses.
Yeah. Instead of walking all the way back around. And I agree. Once you leave Epcot, that bus, walking to the buses, it feels like forever.
I know it's crazy because it doesn't feel like it's that far when you're walking in because you're all excited to be there. But then when you're leaving, it's like this is terrible. This is a terrible walk.
Yeah.
So,
and it's so dull. I don't know. They need to plant some better things over there or something. Put some statues, make it more interesting.
Something. Yeah. We almost always try to, budget some Lyft trips into like our trip budget because I know if I'm back in the World Showcase, it's highly unlikely that I'm going to walk all the way back to the front of the park and then to the buses. So
that's really smart.
So, and we had really good Lyft luck that time too. I think maybe we waited like 6 or 7 minutes, and we had a driver show up, and it's really not far at all from the Epcot resorts over to Coronado.
That's really nice. Yeah, and usually those Lyft rides, especially if you're not there during like a busy season, they're usually not that expensive.
No, I don't think that we paid any more than maybe like $10 any of the times that we took a Lyft.
Yeah, that's not bad at all. Okay, so what did you do that evening once you got back to your resort?
It was pretty late when we got back. I think what time was it? Maybe around 10 by the time, because it wasn't super long before Epcot closed that we left. So yeah, we just kind of hopped back and relaxed a little and headed to bed. We're boring sometimes, especially when it's just the two of us.
Oh, but that's so needed at the end of the day, just to do nothing. Get ready for the next day.
Yes. And we did have a really early morning the next morning. So we definitely were trying to get to bed as early as possible.
Yes. Okay, so what did y'all do on Sunday?
Sky had a capture your moment photo session at Animal Kingdom, which, that's when you get the little private session with one of the PhotoPass photographers. They had just started doing them at Animal Kingdom, so she's done them a couple of times at Magic Kingdom. and decided to try Animal Kingdom. And we got the first one of the day, which was 8 a.m. So we needed to get there, around 7:30.
Oh,
So
yeah,
we
that's
did,
early.
we did use a driver, the driver that we use sometimes. We did use Bill to make sure that we got there in plenty of time.
That's smart.
So, and I'll let Sky tell you what she wore and how her photo session went.
Yes.
Happy the Safari Mickey romper on Poshmark. And then I got a zebra print bucket hat.
Oh, cute.
And I was wearing like a black t-shirt under the romper because the romper was just like spaghetti straps. And our photographer was so sweet. She was so good. And I super enjoyed doing Capture Your Moment. It's a lot of fun.
During your Capture Your Moment, you got to do something super special when you met you met some otters.
Oh, that's
Yes,
fun.
I love otters. Otters are literally my favorite animal ever, and I feel like every time we go by there, they're always like, I know there are two groups of the otters, and they're always either switching the two groups out of the viewing area or they're asleep.
Mm-hmm.
But we went over there, and it's the best of luck. Like, one of the groups of others were out, and they had a cast member with them, and the cast member told me their names. It was so fun.
So what the only name I remember is Egg Roll, right? One of them was
that's
Egg Roll.
funny.
I think that's the only one I remember too. Because it was like, I was like, oh, that's a super cute name.
That's a really cute name.
They know the cast members that take care of them. So once he was standing there with Sky, they swam right up and just put on a little show. So
That's so neat. Oh my gosh. That's just such a neat experience.
yeah, I definitely recommend getting to Animal Kingdom early, before things get super crazy. 'Cause that was sort of, if you walk behind the Tree of Life, there was they weren't in their little grotto. They were sort of out in the water there around the Tree of Life.
So with the Capture Your Moment session, did y'all get to pick where you wanted the pictures done, or did they kind of guide you?
We let them pick. Sky didn't have an idea, like she didn't have somewhere in mind.
Mm-hmm.
So they always have some really great ideas. So we just told her we'd like a couple around the tree, but then after that we were open to whatever she thought. So she had some really great spots that I would have never probably even noticed or thought of that she took Sky to for pictures. It's definitely, it's $50 for 20 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
You can schedule back to back if you want a little bit longer. And every time we've done it, we've had the best experience. It's, $50 is not a super lot for a souvenir at Disney.
Right.
And you have those memories that will last forever. Those pictures, as long as you have Memory Maker, they just show up with your pictures on your app. So you can print them or whatever you want to do with them.
Yeah, that's really neat. And $50 is not, it's like a photo session, and that's not expensive at all.
Yeah, it's great. It's it's really quickly become one of our favorite things. She did one at Magic Kingdom for her 18th birthday. And then she did one again at Magic Kingdom in February when we went to take her senior pictures. So she did those in her point shoes. She's a dancer, so she did some around the castle in her point shoes, and
neat.
They were great. They just definitely, you could tell that it was something unusual for them as well, and they had just the most fun taking those pictures with her.
Oh, I bet they loved it. Something new for them.
We did learn, we'll give a little tip if anyone else has a dancer. concrete and point shoes are not a good combination. So the toes of her point shoes were pretty toasted when we were done, but it was worth it. So like I said, it was worth the sacrifice of the shoes because the pictures were so good.
Okay, so what y'all do after your photo shoot?
We went to Pandora for Sky's very favorite Disney breakfast.
I don't know if I call it. It's more of a dessert breakfast type thing. Over like not super far into Pandora, they have this like walk up window restaurant, and they have these cream cheese and pineapple egg rolls, and it sounds weird, but it's so good. And like the wonton is like sprinkled with cinnamon sugar, and then they have this drink that's like slush with the little popping boba things, and that is also so good. Probably my favorite drink that I've ever had at Disney ever. It's so good.
That sounds delicious.
I'll pop in and do my travel agent thing. So it's Pongu is the little walk up snack sort of kiosk,
Mm-hmm.
and then the egg rolls or spring rolls are I think Pongu Lumpia, and then the drink is a night blossom.
Okay.
And it is sort of like a layered slush with the little popping fruit boba. I promise that I don't drink this much at home, but it's really super good with the rum. So I do usually get mine with rum.
Well, you're on vacation. Everything's different on vacation.
Yes, that's what I say. Like, got it. I'm vacationing, so yes, but it is very good both with rum and without.
Sounds so good. So what y'all do after breakfast?
Actually, it's something that we have been trying to do for our last several trips, and just the timing didn't work out. We headed down to Rafiki's Planet Watch to do the animation experience.
Oh, that's fun.
So yeah, that's, if you haven't done that area, it's really fun. You get to ride the train down the Wildlife Express down to Rafiki's Planet Watch. There's a petting zoo down there as well if you want to meet some animals. They have like some goats and donkeys and different things like that. But then if you go inside, they have an animation experience where an actual Disney animator teaches you to draw characters.
What character did y'all get to draw?
Impression Squirt from Nemo. It was super fun. I really like to do stuff like that. It's super fun.
These experiences are at certain times, correct? You have to kind of pick your time that you're going to go.
Yes. There is a sign out, like sort of in front of the area where you would get on the train, and you can also check the app, the Disney World app.
Did y'all's drawings look good?
Sky's was pretty good. Mine, I don't have a future as a Disney animator, but it was fun.
Bert was better than mine. Bert was a lot better than mine.
My crush had a lazy eye, but it was okay. It was okay. It was really fun, and they walk you right through it. Like the paper that they give you to draw on already has a few guidelines on it, so it was definitely better than I thought I could do, even though it wasn't perfect.
That's fun,
and it was really super fun.
Yeah, they're like trying to help people out a little bit.
Yes.
Yeah, that's smart.
So yeah, it was fun, and then you get to kind of spend some time with an animator, so that was fun too.
So what y'all do after that?
What we shopped a little, just kind of gift shopped a little, and then we went. It was when we were there. It was right after the celebration of the Festival of the Lion King had opened.
Okay,
so
yeah.
we went over to get in line for that because it was something that we definitely wanted to do, and knew that it was probably going to be a pretty long wait in line.
So how long did
got
y'all
in
wait?
line. We got in line. I think there was one at 11:30 and then one at 12:30. We got in line probably right after the 11:30 started. And so, yeah, we probably waited maybe like 40 or 45 minutes before they let us in the theater.
Okay.
And the line stretched pretty far back between the Festival of the Lion King Theater and Pandora. So it was a pretty long line.
Yeah.
It was worth it, though. And, it wasn't bad. We mobile ordered our lunch while we were waiting. So.
That's smart. That's really smart.
So yeah, it was definitely worth the wait. I cried. We love Festival of the Lion King, and you could just tell the cast members, like the performers, were so happy to be there. Like you could really feel the love in the room. Like they were so happy. I'm gonna tear up talking. they were so happy to be there. You could just, it was great. It was just absolutely, even though, it's a little different than it was pre-COVID, this show itself, it was amazing. Like you could definitely feel the love and joy in the room.
Yeah, I'm so happy for those cast members. I hope more get to come back and more of the performers get to come back, because I know that's going to mean so much to them.
Yeah, you could tell that they were just so happy to be there. So
that's great. So what'd y'all do after the show?
Well, like I said, we had mobile ordered for, I always don't know if I say it right, for Satuli Canteen over in Pandora. So we had two meals in Pandora in one day. And it was right at lunchtime, so it was a little bit of a wait, even for mobile order, like for the first window to be able to pick up your food. So it worked out really well. Our window opened right about the time we were finished with the show. So we walked over, towards Pandora, and as we got close, we hit the "I'm here, prepare my order" on the mobile order. And we didn't wait long at all after we made it over there for our food to be ready.
That's great. What did y'all order?
We both had cheeseburger pods.
Oh, yeah. Did y'all like them?
They were good. They were really good. You liked them, right? Sky's not a big burger person, but you liked the cheeseburger pods, right?
Yeah, I thought they were super good.
They were more, we thought they were more like a sloppy Joe.
Okay.
Than like a burger. Super good. And then they have like sort of the house-made potato like and veggie chips with it. So it's sort of like they're different, like I know there are potatoes and sweet potatoes and some interesting little things that come in the chips that come on the side. So it was really super good.
That sounds really good. Y'all have had so much good food. I'm just getting hungry sitting here listening to you talk about it.
And we did. We totally skipped a part. After Wildlife Express, when we were shopping, we also hopped into Creature Comforts, which is Starbucks. So we grabbed a drink at Starbucks, and then they had this really, really cute, they were calling it a cheetah brownie. It was a brookie, so like a brownie cookie mix with a really kind of big scoop of like mocha mousse on it.
Yeah.
And then it had these cute little cheetah print Mickey ears on the mousse dome. It was really, really cute and really, really good.
That sounds really good.
So we just shared one of those. We're big on sharing stuff just so that we can try more things. I kind of had forgotten about that we, between the animation experience and Festival of the Lion King, we did have a little Starbucks break.
Well, yeah, and y'all stood in line for a while, so that was probably needed while y'all were waiting for the Festival of the Lion King.
Yes, and we did find a super, I don't know how long the tables will be there, but we found a super good out of the way place to have your Starbucks and a little snack. They had some stand up tables right outside of the baby care center, which is just kind of right there by Creature Comforts. It was completely quiet back there. Like once you stepped back there, you couldn't hear any of the park noise. It was a great place to hang out in the quiet for a minute and have a snack. And it would have been a good place if you needed to like make a phone call or something.
Oh yeah, that's really neat. That's good. A good little secret tip.
So yeah, I don't know if I've never, we don't have babies, so
Yeah.
I've never hang out near the baby care centers. We just happened to see the tables back there. So I don't know if they keep them there all the time, but yeah, there were a couple of stand-up tables in the shade right by the baby care center.
Oh yes, and being in the shade, that's key. Because it gets hot.
Definitely.
Yes. Okay, so what y'all do
after lunch we headed out. It was hot, really it was a hot day, and we knew that we were going to Disney Springs for dinner, so we decided to take off and cool off in the room and rest up so we would be ready to head to Disney Springs for the evening.
And did y'all ride the bus back to your resort from Animal Kingdom?
We did.
Okay, and how'd y'all get to Disney Springs?
We rode the bus, right, Sky? We rode the bus to Disney Springs.
Did y'all have to wait long for that, or how was that?
That was probably the longest wait we had for a bus. But it was maybe like between 15 and 20 minutes. It wasn't terrible.
Yeah.
It did seem like, from what I noticed, waiting on, other buses and things, that the Disney Springs bus in the evening was the one that was probably the most problematic, or, the longest wait times.
Mm-hmm.
And, the bus was filling up. So, sometimes people weren't all able to get on a bus and had to wait on the next one.
Yeah. Because everyone wants to head over there in the evenings because it stays open so late.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. And, dining is still a little limited at some of the resorts,
mm-hmm.
and even somewhat at the parks. So
mm-hmm.
it's the best option a lot of times for dinner.
Yes, because like everything's open there, it seems like, or at least most things are.
I can't think of much, if anything, that's not open.
Mm-hmm. So what'd y'all do once y'all got to Disney Springs?
Well, we got on the wait list for Gideon's Cookies as soon as we got there.
Mm-hmm.
There was about a 4-hour wait.
Wow.
We actually, I'll give a little spoiler, we did not make it until we got called for our cookies this time. We did when we were there in February,
mm-hmm.
and it was totally worth the wait. So you get in a virtual queue, and then you just hang out, shop, eat, whatever, and they text you when your cookies are ready. Those are the best cookies, and their peanut butter cold brew is amazing. So
ooh,
it's definitely worth hanging out to wait for.
Good to know.
So, and if you do like us, we decided we, weren't gonna to make it until we got called to go in. There's just an option. They text you to let you know you're in the virtual queue, and there's just an option to remove yourself. So you give up your spot in line to somebody else if you decide not to wait. So yeah, we did that, and then we hung out and listened. They had some really good live music, so we hung out and listened to some music, and then had dinner at the boathouse.
So what'd y'all get for dinner?
I had the New York steak and fries, which was delicious. And then I had the cute little drink that you've probably seen on Instagram, the Duck Duck Raz, which is the blue drink with sort of the white foam on top, and then it has a little rubber ducky floating in it.
Yes, that's so cute.
So, and Sky, you had fish tacos, right?
Yes, and they were so good. They're so good.
It was our first trip to the boathouse.
Uh-huh.
It was another instant favorite. we got there, and you usually are used to like you tell them you're there, and they're like, okay, give me your number, and we'll text you when your table is ready. They took us immediately to our table.
Oh, that's great.
So, and we actually ate out on. They asked if we were okay with outside, and we said yes. So we ate out on the back deck on the water. And so the amphicars, we were right on their little route. So we got to see all the amphicars going by, taking people for rides.
That's really neat.
It was a really, really great experience. The service was great, and the food was great. They have a cute gift shop when you leave with all kinds, especially if you know someone who is a boater. They have all kinds of cute, like, funny boat shirts.
Oh, that's neat. That's really cool. I haven't been there, but I've heard really good things about it.
We always try like a couple of places that we haven't been every trip. And this time it was Skipper Canteen and the Boathouse, and they both instantly went on like our new favorite list. Definitely want to do both of them again.
Yeah, and that has to be really great too, with you being a travel agent, to try new places so you can, let people know.
Yes. Yeah, that's, we like to do that. Like we like to try different things, but it is also like, I like to be able to tell someone firsthand if they ask me about a certain restaurant. A really good thing too about working with, a group of agents, like, as far as at Trolley Lane, there's not a lot of places that one of us hasn't been.
Oh, yeah.
If I haven't been, I can usually ask and get some feedback.
Oh, yeah, that's got to be really nice.
From other agents. So that way, I know, when I'm planning a trip, I would rather have like firsthand knowledge from, someone that I'm actually talking to rather than just reading reviews online.
Absolutely. Yeah, and Disney can be very overwhelming with all the food because there's just so many food choices.
Yes, definitely can. But I would we also did, I guess we had 3 new things because we also did the 4 Seasons. So we had really good luck. We had really good luck with new things on that trip.
Great. That's great. So what'd y'all do after dinner at the Boathouse?
Well, we were going to go shopping and, hang out and wait for our time to go to Gideon's for cookies, but it was the most crowded that I've ever seen Disney Springs. Sky, it was really bad, right?
Yeah, it was more crowded, I think, than any park that we were in the entire time, honestly. Oh, wow.
So the line to get enrolled in Disney stretched so far back. We walked back just to see the end of the line, just for curiosity. It was all the way back to a backstage entrance. Like, it couldn't have gone back any further without going backstage.
Oh my gosh.
You actually could not see World of Disney anymore when you got to the end of the line.
Oh, wow. Was it worse?
And that was just to get in. So
that's crazy. Were they saying how long it was going to take, or it was just kind of a guess?
Yeah, they weren't saying. They were not giving a guess, but I heard even places that you don't think of, like the Ganachery and Ghirardelli, were you were having to wait, like you couldn't go in.
Wow.
So yeah, we like to do the marketplace co-op. It was a huge line to get in there as well.
Oh wow, that takes all the fun out of it.
So yeah, we decided that we would rearrange some things and work a Disney Springs trip in on a weekday morning. So we got, we removed ourselves from the Gideon's virtual queue, and we were right near where Lyft, one of the areas where Lyft and Uber pick up. So we just headed out and grabbed a Lyft back to the resort.
And that went pretty smoothly. Y'all got a Lyft pretty quickly.
Well, yes and no. We actually got in the wrong one.
Oh no.
there was a lot of people waiting for lifts, and there was a lot of lifts lined up, and Ubers. So we were looking for the vehicle that they said, and it was the same vehicle. So the guy hops out, and I said for Shelly, and he's like, yeah, hop in. So we hopped in, and then he said something about we were going to like one of like the Hilton properties, and I was like, no, we're going to Coronado Springs, and he's like, no, it says this, and he's like, you're Nikki, right? And I'm like, no.
Oh my gosh.
So we hopped out and found the right one, but yeah, it was, other than a little mishap, it was. So now we've learned always check the license number.
Yeah. Because some of them do have the same cars.
Yeah, they had the same car, and I think there was like, maybe a little bit of a language barrier there. So, but yeah, after that we did walk around and look at the license plate every time. So, but yeah, it was quick. I think we probably waited like 6 or 7 minutes for our ride.
And y'all made it back to the resort, and then did y'all just call it a night after that?
We did. It was getting pretty late. I think our reservation at the boathouse was at 8. So by the time we ate and tried to navigate around and find somewhere to shop, it was getting a little bit later. So, and we had a long day since we had been in Animal Kingdom so early that morning. So we called it a night.
So this is the first half of your trip. How would you say the crowds were at the parks at this point?
I didn't think the crowds at the parks were really bad at all. Did you, Sky?
No, I thought that it was super manageable.
It was definitely more since the pandemic. We went just a couple of weeks after the parks reopened. We went in August, and then we went again at the end of November, and again in February, and then this time. So I would say that every time we've gone, it gets more back to normal crowd levels. And this time, I would say it was a normal day in the parks. It did not seem like there was as much of a capacity limit at all. But it was never anything that we were uncomfortable with, as far as having people around. I know Sky missed the crowds. Like, she actually said it was weird without them. So she was happy to have it a little more back to normal, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, there's something to be said for that.
Weird. It was weird to like walk down Main Street, and it was like you were the only people there.
Yeah, it's like with the other people there, it kind of brings in the energy of the parks and stuff.
I would say that only thing that I would say as far as like the crowd level being, inconvenient at all, there was really long lines for photo pass photographers, especially on Main Street. So that's something you probably want to either maybe get a little closer to the castle or off to the side, or just allow some extra time for your picture. Mobile ordering food, you have to maybe plan a little bit ahead, because sometimes it's not like an immediate thing that you can pick up. So I would definitely, it's very manageable as long as you plan ahead. So maybe like an hour before your kids are going to be hungry, go ahead and just figure out where you want to eat and place your mobile order.
Yeah, that's good advice. Because sometimes people wait till they're hungry and then they have to wait an hour.
Yeah, and then you have we saw more kids having meltdowns than I think we've ever seen before. And, it was hot and it was crowded, and, definitely I think sometimes having to wait a little bit longer, to get some lunch or dinner was playing a little part in it.
Yeah, definitely probably was, because kids can't handle that. When they're hungry, they're ready to eat.
Yeah, and I know more things are opening just constantly, And then, like I said, it wasn't even that long. I mean, maybe, like I said, an hour or somewhere between a half an hour and an hour before you know you're going to be ready to head over, get your food. Just, pick a place and do the mobile order. It wasn't bad at all.
And you had mentioned it rained a couple of days. How was the weather so far?
It was hot. It was really, really hot. Very hot and humid. We had pretty good luck with rain, except, the one day that we had the pretty long storm and ended up having to kind of change around our evening plans.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, there were just like little short, just bursts of rain. Like, it would rain for maybe 5 minutes. So we really, really lucked out rain-wise.
So that's part 1 of Shelly and Sky's trip. Join us next Tuesday for the second half of their trip. Visit us on Instagram at Disney Travel Tales to see pictures of them at the parks. If you would like more information on how Trolley Lane Travel can help you plan your next Disney vacation, please visit trolleylanetravel.com. If you plan a trip with them and would like to be featured on the show, let your agent know. This is how we get our guests. And of course, this show would not be successful without your vacation stories. And finally, please help support the podcast by rating and reviewing it on Apple Podcasts. This is the best way for people to become familiar with the show. Thank you so much for listening. This is Jenny, and may all your Disney travel dreams become a reality.